What's good, y'all? We got BandLab and Eline Vera, and you'll see how to mix vocals like a pro for easy tricks for clear and balanced sound. You know me, I'm kind of sorry at mixing, so we're trying to get right. So let's get right. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, share, and post notifications. All that. Let's get into it.
Hi, my name is Eline Vera. I'm a singer, creator, and vocal
Yeah, next
producer.
time.
And in today's video, I'm
Cool.
going to walk you through my favorite tips for mixing vocals in BandLab. And if you've watched my last video on recording vocals in BandLab, welcome back. And now that we've got our vocal takes ready, it is time to take them to the next level by mixing them.
I love you, det här må je t'aime. Ich liebe dich, die hammer kocham cię, baby. No matter where you are, I'll never miss your call.
Before we dive in, I just want to say that mixing vocals is all about bringing your performance to life by creating a balanced, polished sound that fits the vibe of your track.
Yeah,
There
but
really
like,
is no right or wrong way to mix, but
there's
I will
definitely
be
a wrong
sharing
way.
some of my go-to methods and effects for a clear professional sound. I want to encourage you to use your ears and trust what sounds good to you. When it comes to mixing vocals, the goal is to shape them so that they sit well with the other instruments in your track, while of course also bringing out their full potential. Mixing helps to give your vocals depth and clarity and make sure each vocal layer, whether it's the lead, backing vocals, or vocal effects, have their own space within the mix. A big part of mixing vocals is creating the right balance. For example, your lead vocal is the most important vocal in your mix and works best if kept front and center. And balancing the volume of your lead and backing vocals helps the lead vocals stand out. And with panning and reverb, you can add width and a sense of space. So we'll start out with mixing the lead vocal first. To make sure your project is prepared to start mixing, there are two things to double check: the BPM and the key. Both of these are really important to get right because effects like auto pitch for pitch correction and delay effects will be affected by how your project is set up. You can easily change these settings by tapping on the settings icon at the top, and as you can see, my song is in E flat minor and the tempo of my song is 123 beats per minute. Now, before we get started on mixing our lead vocal, I want to quickly mention Voice Enhancer, which is this awesome tool to clean up your vocal if you've
Always
recorded
get
in
right with that water.
circumstances that are not ideal. Voice Enhancer uses advanced AI technology to get rid of all types of background noise, not just steady stuff, but dynamic and unpredictable noises too, as well as unwanted noise. Voice Enhancer uses advanced
Voice
AI
enhancer.
technology to get rid of all types of background noise, not just steady stuff, but dynamic and unpredictable noises too, as well as unwanted reverb if you've recorded in rooms that aren't acoustically treated. Now, check out this before and after of me singing on a bridge over a highway.
I love you, det här må je t'aime. I love you, det här må je t'aime.
Pretty impressive, right? You can find Voice Enhancer by selecting your region, tapping the three dots, and choosing Voice Enhancer. Now you can toggle these three options on and off depending on what your vocal needs. Now let's mix some vocals. So this is what my project looks like. I've got my instrumental all the way here at the top, followed by my lead vocal, my doubles in orange, and then we've got a whole bunch of harmonies, and towards the bottom we have some ad-libs and vocal effects. We'll start by soloing our lead vocal track so we can clearly hear what we're doing. And this is what the dry vocal sounds like.
Met in Madrid, à la fiesta, a French kiss. Je savais que tu étais le seul, j'embarquais.
Now, the very first thing I always do is tune my vocal, and to do that we'll be using auto pitch. Just tap on your track and choose auto pitch at the bottom. You can play around with the amount of tuning. Now, a good rule of thumb when using auto pitch is to set it to a gentle correction speed for a more natural sound, but if you're going for a more modern pitch corrected effect, try increasing the speed. Now, this is really a preference thing. I like how my vocals sound when they're tuned, but I still want them to sound natural, so I'm turning this up to 25%, and I like the warmth of the
I'll still
natural
be on
setting,
80.
so I'll be
I'm not gonna
choosing
lie to
that.
you, I can't sing.
Met in Madrid,
I'm getting colder though, so
à
it'll
la
be cranking slowly
fiesta, a
back.
French kiss. Je savais que tu étais le seul, j'embarquais. Et tu dis bon voyage, et tu
It
me
might not be a
manques,
good
tu
thing
me
though. You just
manques
gotta
beaucoup.
get colder
Also,
to
if for
get
some
colder,
reason you
if you know what I
didn't set
mean.
the key of your project yet, you have the option to auto-detect the key right here by tapping the auto-detect key button. Next, I like to use an EQ to shape the vocal tone and get rid of any unwanted frequencies. And I really like the visual EQ, which is a members-only feature, but I will show you the settings I use on the graphic EQ as well. So for a cleaner sound, I will roll off some of the low end around 100 Hz and below to reduce any muddiness. Boosting slightly in the mid-range, I will show you the settings I use on the graphic EQ as well. So for a cleaner sound, I will roll off some of the low end around 100 Hz and below to reduce any muddiness. Boosting slightly in the mid-range can help bring out some more clarity, and I'll boost a touch of high end to add more brightness.
I love you, te amo,
Down
je
low,
t'aime.
a little up,
Ich liebe dich,
mid and
te
high.
amo, kocham cię, baby. No matter where you are, I'll never miss
Why is stuff
your
look cleaner than mine?
call. Jag älskar dig så rätt mycket, hou van jou. No matter
That's clean.
where you are, I feel you in my heart. I love you, te amo, je t'aime. Ich liebe dich, te amo, kocham cię, baby. No matter where you are.
Next, I'm going to add a de-esser to reduce some of those harsh S sounds. And this really helps smooth out any sharpness on the sibilance of your vocal, especially if you've recorded close to your mic. Start with a slight amount of reduction around -5 or 10 dB and adjust based on how much sibilance you hear. This is before.
A French kiss. Je savais que tu étais le seul, j'embarquais
And this is after.
à la fiesta. A
How does she know
French
where to put it?
kiss. Je savais que tu étais le seul, j'embarquais.
Next, we're adding a compressor.
Hey, why?
French
5 or 10 dB if you, and this really helps smooth out any sharpness on the sibilance around -5 or especially if you've recorded close to your mic. Start with a slight amount of reduction around -5 or 10 dB and
Je
Okay,
savais
just re-roll it, I
a
guess.
French kiss. Je savais que tu étais le seul, j'embarquais.
next we're adding a compressor. So a compressor
Compressor.
evens out the dynamic range of your vocal, bringing up the softer parts and controlling louder moments, and this results in a more even volume throughout your track. I really like the sound of the TechLab BA2A. Make sure it's set to compress mode and play around with the gain and squeeze until you like what you're hearing.
I love you, te amo, je t'aime. Ich liebe dich, te amo, kocham cię, baby. No matter where you are.
What I like to do after I've adjusted some settings is turn on the instrumental so I can hear what my vocal sounds like with the music.
I love you, te amo, je t'aime. Ich liebe
That do
dich,
sound good.
te amo, kocham cię, baby. No matter where you are.
D-delay adds a subtle echo effect to the vocal, giving it a sense of space. I like to set the delay to a quarter note tempo sync delay, and I set the spread to 100% for a wide sound. Let's listen to it with the music again to see if we need to make adjustments.
Met in Madrid, à la fiesta, a French kiss. Je savais que tu étais le seul, j'embarquais. Et tu dis bon voyage, et tu me manques beaucoup.
I like how this sounds. I'm actually mixing it in quite low so that it's felt rather than heard directly, adding just a touch of depth. Lastly, I'll use Studio Reverb to create some space around my vocal. Now you can easily adjust the size, choose a smaller size percentage for a tight, intimate sound, or go for a longer reverb if you want more ambience.
Tight.
I love you, te amo, je t'aime. Ich liebe dich, te amo, kocham cię, baby. No matter where you are.
The tone lets you adjust the brightness
I
of
like
your reverb.
15 to
I
25.
love you, te amo, je t'aime.
Maybe more like 12,
Ich
honestly.
liebe dich,
Like
te
10
amo,
to 20,
kocham
honestly.
cię, baby.
I'm going to keep that around 80%. Now for the mix of the reverb, I like to turn it all the way down and adjust it based on how it blends with the instrumental.
I love you, te amo, je t'aime. Ich liebe dich, te amo, kocham cię, baby. No matter where you are.
I can't really hear it, I'm not gonna lie to you.
Never miss your call.
I will keep it like that for now. Once you've dialed in these settings, don't forget that you can actually save this as a preset. Just simply tap the three dots, choose Save As, name your preset and choose an image if you want. This way you can quickly access your custom vocal chain in this or future projects.
Doubles.
With the lead vocal sounding great, let's move on to backing vocals. I like to divide my backing vocals in doubles and harmonies, and I treat them just a little different. Let's start with the doubles. The doubles sing exactly the same melody as the lead vocal, and they're meant to give accents to certain sentences, as well as support the lead vocal for a thicker sound in the chorus. As a starting point for my doubles, I'm going to load in the lead vocal preset, but I'm going to
8
adjust a
tracks.
few of the settings. Starting off with the visual EQ, instead of boosting the highs, I'm going to cut them away a bit to make space for my lead vocal. This lets my lead vocal shine in those higher frequencies, while the backing vocals and doubles provide depth. Moving on to D-delay. I like to set the delay of my doubles to an 8th tempo sync delay, so they don't clash with the delay on my lead vocal. I'll keep the spread 100% and adjust the high and low pass a bit so it sounds like this.
Je savais que tu étais le seul, j'embarquais et tu dis bon voyage.
Now for studio reverb, I want my doubles to sound a bit further away, so I'll make sure to increase the reverb to 30%, and this is what the doubles sound like now.
Ich liebe dich, die amo, kocham cię, baby, no matter where you are.
Lastly, I pan the doubles all the way left and right, and I'll bring the volume of these tracks down a bit, so the lead vocal is the loudest vocal in my mix. And this is what they sound like in combination with the lead vocal.
I love you, te amo, je t'aime. Ich liebe dich, die amo, kocham cię, baby, no matter where you are.
And with the music.
I love you, te amo, je t'aime. Ich liebe dich, die amo, kocham cię, baby, no matter where you are. I'll never miss your call.
Don't forget to
That's cool. But I think I like it more when you have like they're vocally different instead of just like copied. I don't know. Maybe I have to try that and then actually see if I like one or the other better. I've usually just done crank all the way to the left, crank all the way to the right. Different tracks, try to go like a little bit higher, a little bit lower. But yeah, I'll try it.
save this vocal chain as a preset for your doubles, and we're all set to move on to mixing our harmonies. Now when I'm mixing, my main goal for the harmonies is to complement the lead vocal without overshadowing it and to add that extra bit of depth to your vocal arrangement. We'll be using the preset I just saved for our doubles as a starting point and make some slight changes. I want my harmonies to sound even more spacious, so I'm going to increase the reverb to 40%. I'm removing the delay on the harmonies as the mix can get a bit muddy when all my harmonies contain delays. And the last thing I'm going to do to the harmonies is pan them left and right. And to make sure they all have their own place in the mix, I'll be panning them at different percentages. This is what my harmonies sound like now.
No matter where you are, I feel you in my heart.
Let's hear how they sound with the lead vocal and doubles.
No matter where you are,
That sounds
I feel
nice.
you in my heart.
I guess that's what
Moving on to
like
mixing
my doubles don't be
ad-libs and
like
effect
complete
vocals.
doubles.
Ad-libs and
They're
effect
some
vocals bring
harmonies.
extra energy and texture to your mix. They're like vocal ear candy, and I like to approach them different for every track I create. However, I always keep ad-libs slightly lower in volume than the lead vocal, so they're not overpowering but still present. I'd like the ad-lib for this specific song to feel like they're distant yet powerful. So taking the lead vocal preset again, I'm going to adjust the EQ a bit, take away the delay, and increase the size of the reverb as well as the mix, so the ad-lib feels nice and distant. I also want to add the vocal doubler to this chain, as I find that it really helps the ad-lib to sit in the mix better and prevents it from clashing with the lead vocal. Plus, I really love the wider sound that it gives to my ad-libs. This is what it sounds like without the vocal doubler.
Baby, no matter where you are.
And this is with the vocal doubler.
Baby, no matter where you are.
Now the
Nice.
final vocal we'll be working on is an effect vocal, and up until now we've been creating our own custom effect chains, but for this one I'm going to explore BandLab's presets library. It is packed with amazing options that can quickly add character to your vocal. Now let's try searching for the telephone preset and see what comes up. Well, what do you know, there is a telephone preset, so let's see what it sounds like.
But it's too long. Please come here.
That's actually really cool.
Chill.
I'll add a bit more compression with the TechLab BA2A like we've been doing on our other vocals, and we're done. Now let's listen to the final result.
Met in Madrid, à la fiesta, a French kiss. Je savais que tu étais le seul, j'embarquais. Et tu dis bon voyage, et tu me manques
walking.
in my heart.
Like Christopher Walken.
And there you have it. This is how I mix vocals in BandLab. And remember, there is no one size fits all. These are just techniques that I like to use, but mixing is all about finding what works best for you and your track. And if you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and let me know what your favorite vocal mixing trick is in the comments. Thanks for watching and keep
creating music. Eline, Vera. Okay, so you kind of do stuff like this too. Cool. Dutch. Fire.
Hi, my name
Hey, yeah, we know. But yeah, that's it for this video. Make sure to like, comment, share, subscribe, post notifications. See y'all later.